the bottom of the Queen's Staircase. Abandoned cars, abandoned houses. We are in the hood.
Over the hill, grandstand and being down the best place in the Bahamas. That's where you come and buy a $2 bill and every wonderful good thing.
All my life, I've been hearing it's better in the Bahamas. But is it really? I don't know. I just got here. So let's find out. It's definitely warmer here. It's February. It's about 82 degrees. We're about 200 miles east-southeast of Miami, in Nassau, the capital of the 700 island chain. It still has a phone booth. Pay phone booth, but no phone. We are at Junkanoo Beach, the biggest public beach in Nassau, Bahamas, on the island of New Providence, which is the largest island population-wise in the Bahamas. The country has a population of 400,000, 70% of which live right here in Nassau on the island of New Providence. New Providence Island is approximately 200 square miles. And the city of Nassau, the capital, also extends to another smaller island, which you can see across the bay or across the channel, called Paradise Island. That's where the rich people live. Oprah's got a house there. The Atlantis Resort with a $25,000 penthouse suite is located there. And a lot of casinos and golf tournaments take place on Paradise Island, which is much smaller, about 1 square mile. We're on the main island of New Providence, here at Junkanoo Beach, which is the most popular beach right adjacent to downtown Nassau. Popular both for locals and for tourists from the cruise boats that you can see right there. There's 5 or 6 cruise boats parked in downtown Nassau, adjacent here to Junkanoo Beach. The name Junkanoo refers to an Afro-Bahamian festival that takes place twice per year, every year on Boxing Day, December 26th, as well as New Year's Day, and other points during the year. The festival celebrates Bahamian culture, Bahamian food. People dance, have a good time. But I think that's true every day in the Bahamas. Our walk today, it's going to cover a couple of miles around the downtown Nassau area. We're going to go through Junkanoo as we're doing now, pass through the straw market, check out downtown, maybe get to over the hill residential area and see some history with the forts. There's 3 different forts. We're going to see 2 of those today during this walk. It's a Sunday afternoon and it's jamming here on Junkanoo Beach.
I'm gonna let my Junkanoo guys do what they gotta do, man. Well, in case you guys didn't know, we got about 10,000 Junkanoo members. We brought the best guys out here. There's the best drummers, the best cowbellers, and the best shakers. All right. So all these guys that you're looking at are all the best.
Hey, tell them, hey.
Okay, Junkanoo. Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah. But tell them, let me show a little man straight tomorrow.
No, he's good. He's good,
Yeah,
man.
he can buy hard body for you get tomorrow.
He's good, man. He's
Yeah,
good.
he gonna
He's good,
buy
man.
plenty hard party.
I'm gonna play some music while the Junkanoo group catches themselves. We're gonna drink a drink.
Yeah, if it's Junkanoo every day, I think it is better in the Bahamas. In front of Margaritaville. As we continue on Bay Street, the Bahamas is all about tourism. Half the population of the Bahamas is employed in the tourism industry, whether that be people flying there as I did or people taking cruise, making their stops. The nation is all about tourism, with Nassau being its capital.
Yes, brother.
Go Yankees!
Oh, yes. Best believe it.
Jazz Chisholm from here, right?
Yes, brother. You know
Yo,
what's going on. You
yo.
know what's going on. He's from here.
got-
I think they recently just bought a move him, though.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
Oh
they
man,
bought-
that
they bought
sucks.
a trade.
Good utility guy. He can go anywhere in the infield.
Yeah, but it was kind of obvious he was new to third base this year.
That's the hot corner.
Yeah.
If you're not ready, you're not ready.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
start
hey.
booting it, you know.
You know your talks. You know what you're saying.
Sign with the Mets. What happened,
Hey,
man?
that's what I'm
You
telling
guys got to come up with
That's what
money.
I'm telling them right
But you
now.
know
That's what I'm telling them right now.
I'm
Bye
a Cincinnati Reds fan. We don't have the money for that. The Yankees do. You
bye
guys.
Juan Soto. He's a one dimension. He has no defense.
Yeah.
He can't run the
He
He,
bases.
he goes like half
guys.
speed. It seems
Yeah.
like he's like lollygagging around there.
I mean, he can hit like anything, but
I'm kind of
but-
disappointed in the Yankees because they didn't call for the money to keep him, but hey, I thought they was going to cough up the money. I really thought they was going to cough up the money. Because that's nothing to them. That's nothing to them.
I'm all right with it. I want to get the defense better. I'm serious, man.
Check us out, guys. I got two for $10. Okay? Okay, enjoy all day now. Thank you for coming. Girls, got braces with your presents?
She said, "We're Bahamians. We're not tourists." I guess the guy with the Yankee hat, he don't care. If you got money, you could be local, you could be tourist. It's all good. What's cool here is if you look across the street at some of these buildings, you got that old school colonial architecture that came from probably the 18 or even 1700s. So mixed in with the brand new high-rise tourist hotels, you got some history here. it is the Bahamas, so the driving is on the wrong side of the road. It's a British colony, so they drive on the left, but they use US cars, so the steering wheel is just like it is in the US. Like the US, they talk miles and not kilometers. It's one of the few countries, along with the US and Caymans, that uses Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. So despite being a British colony for some 200 years, 250 years, there's a lot of US influence, like, well, McDonald's across the street. We're in front of the British Colonial Hotel on Bay Street. This site has a lot of history. It was the site of the first fort in the Bahamas in 1697, the old fort of Nassau. And the statue is the first governor, who was the governor of this island effective in 1718, appointed by the British. This hotel has been here since the 1800s. It's been renovated and remodeled several times. One of the classic hotels in New Providence Island. I always confuse myself walking around the streets here. Gotta look both ways since it's counterintuitive what direction the cars are coming from. And you'll notice the old school British architecture. This was a British colony from 1718 through 1973, when it was declared independent. That said, a lot of the influence since independence has been more from the US. So it's kind of got a hybrid of culture between Caribbean island, British, and more recent US influences. See the Bahamian flag on the left there, yellow, blue, and black. Pirates played a huge part in the history of the Bahamas. This was Blackbeard's stomping ground. And in the 1700s, it was a site frequently attacked by multiple pirate ships roaming the Caribbean. Been to the Bahamas once before, and I can tell you it's a place for bargaining. No need to take the first price. Everything is subject to negotiation, at least in terms of outdoor vendors. My planned walk today takes the route that I'm showing on the screen now, but I think I've already made a few divergences, so that's the general plan for today's walk. It's a Carnival cruise boat taking spot number 1 in the harbor. It looks like there's at least 4 or 5 parked there right now. Area I just recently passed. If you're going back on your cruise line, take a nice inhale. That doesn't really come through in the video. Right in front of where all the cruise lines park is the famous Nassau, Bahamas straw market. Let's take a look inside. All right, I think I feel some air conditioning, which is welcome at this point with 80-something degree weather outside. Feels very comfortable in here.
Now all you gotta do is buy one of them and then you love it completely.
Good, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad I saw you. You want to buy anything for me today? I have all size t-shirts.
Oh, check it out.
Touching is free, handsome. And don't be shy. Okay?
All right.
I have all size t-shirts, hats, coffee mugs, lighthouse. I have book bags, I have magnets too. I have the swords. I have keychains. Be open until 8.
8? Okay, I'll get back before that. Yeah.
I could be then on. I want to get a seal now before you.
I'll be here at 7:30.
I'll be leaving at 7:30. I have to watch the game.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, so do I. No, I'm glad you brought that
The
up.
game starts 6:30.
All right, I'll try to get here at 6. I promise, or something.
You will try.
What about Thursday? You here Thursday?
I get Thursday.
Thursday I got free time. I'll be more honest. I was lying. I wasn't gonna come back today. But Thursday I really might, because Thursday's the day before I leave when I want to collect souvenirs and stuff.
Okay.
So.
My name is Friendly Fluffy and my boo.
Friendly Fluffy.
Yeah, and take a picture of my boo numbers. I'm
Okay.
370. So
370. I'll only come to you. If I don't get here, I don't get here. But if I do get here, I'm coming to you. That's a promise. That is a promise.
You just switch your boat twice. You really break through. Nice.
But with a name like Friendly Fluffy,
You can't miss me.
yeah, I
370. I give you the best
370.
deal.
I'll be.
So you can tell your agents about me.
We'll do. We'll
Okay?
do. Back out on Bay Street, leaving the straw market. The beer of the Bahamas, Calic. Gotta try some of that.
I love music just because it's nice and neat. When the lyrics come together, it all sounds so sweet. And the rhythm fall in place, you got to sing along. That's what So give me one more sweet song. Come give me one more sweet song. Come give me one more sweet song before I go. The music's not so sweet, you love to sing. You hear rumbling, jumbling, stumbling, the heartbeat gets soft. And when it's all over, you gotta have one more. So give me one more sweet song. Come give me one more sweet song. Come give me one more sweet song.
This is one big outdoor party here on Bay Street.
If you go this way, listen, if you go this way, we good.
Suddenly it gets all isolated out here on this side of Bay Street once you pass the stroller market and the port and keep going east. Alright, we're leaving the downtown area of Bay Street where all the tourists are roaming. And we're going to go up ahead, cross Shirley Street, and go over that hill up ahead. Over the hill neighborhood is where I've been told is where the real people live. You're not going to find the tourists or the cruisers over there. Alright, we're over the hill now. A couple of blocks inland from Bay Street, far away from all the tourist happenings that we were seeing earlier, where the regular people live. What I've noticed here is the sidewalks are largely gone. There's one ahead of me, but kind of have to walk on the side of the road. Really nice building right next to an abandoned one. Probably best to walk against the traffic here so I can see what's coming now that there's no sidewalk. On Bay Street, the vehicles were very patient as I'd zigzag in front of them on the street, but it might be different here. This neighborhood's also got old architecture, though really old, not been repaired in a while. How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, which way is Queen's staircase?
Oh, yeah, go up here.
Go up this way. Is it left or right?
The left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Cool.
That's what. I walk with this.
All right.
I know it's really great history.
Yeah.
It's really great history about the Bahamas. That built in the 17th century. The Queen's Step, that
Right.
built in the 17th century.
Like 1793 or something like that.
1793.
Okay.
When that was built. Yes. That was built by slaves.
I heard that. Yeah.
Built by slaves.
I heard this neighborhood, like in the early 1800s, when slaves escaped, they came here.
Yeah,
You can be free here.
Yes, That's where they got a place up in Fincastle, what they call Congo Town.
Okay.
Then they have one of the oldest settlements in Adelaide. This where the slave them was there in the 18th century. Yeah.
That's cool, because I mean, I read that there was some boat that the U.S. was transporting slaves, but
Yes,
they had they landed here because there was weather or something.
Yes, it's far better.
And Bahamas said, no, we don't have no slavery here. These people are free. And that was that. They were free. That was it. That was cool.
Yeah. And in the 18th century, this was the country in the 18th century. With all the pirates them and everybody to hang out. Because this way all the boats we traffic across this way the international waters out here.
Right.
So where all of us be traffic across that, all the boats would get great merchants on it, like all type of treasures and different stuff. They could pass across this here. The Bahamas have a whole heap of stuff with it.
So it's my second time here. I was here a long time ago once.
Uh-huh.
But it's cool. It's changed. It's bigger now. There's more stuff.
Yeah, it's really greater.
What's this building?
This is the police headquarters.
Ah, okay. That's where I go. Okay. All right. Well, cool, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, don't
Thank
worry.
you.
Everything go do well.
Hey, we got. What's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie from the Bahamas. Here in. Is this over the hill?
No, this like also like downtown area.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But only to say it is like the Fort Fincastle.
Mhm.
So this where up here is the Fort Fincastle.
So for those of you watching, if you go to Fort Fincastle or Queen's Staircase, you're gonna be thirsty. Debbie's got some cool drinks here, some Fantas, some waters, some juices. Check her out. She's right down at the hill from the Fort Fincastle. Very nice lady.
And this house right here is back in the early 19th century. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So obviously no one lives here now.
No problem. And then you go up there now and you could take the tower. That's the water tower up there.
So the water tower up in the distance. We'll be walking up there soon. Cool.
Queen Staircase right there.
Awesome. Cool. I'm gonna take a look inside.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
All right, people looks like they drink in this abandoned house here. I just want you. All right. Thank you, Debbie.
Okay, all right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, same to you.
Oh, you got a little dog?
Yeah, I take it like a dog. Yeah.
She's just chilling. She's relaxed.
Yeah.
Aww.
Her name is Sexy.
Sexy. Hey, Sexy. Very cool. Thank you very much.
All right.
Alright, we're at Fort Fincastle, the third fort built on New Providence Island in the Bahamas. Let's check it out. Earlier we saw the British Colonial Hotel, which had the original fort of Nassau, but that didn't do too well. They used to get attacked constantly by the Spaniards, the French, the pirates. So they built some other forts. Fort Charlotte, which we're going to see a little bit later. And this one was built in 1794, primarily to stop pirate attacks. And this one was more successful than that first fort, Fort Nassau. If nothing else, you get some pretty cool views from here. You can see Atlantis across the channel. You can see the cruise ports that we walked by earlier and all of downtown Nassau. Unlike the first fort that was constructed more or less at sea level and therefore was not very strategically located, this fort is indeed at the top of a hill. So the British colonial powers that were in charge at the time could easily see pirates from miles away. And as a result, had a lot more success defending New Providence Island with this fort than it did with the original old fort of Nassau. This fort only cost $2 to enter. And unlike what you saw on Bay Street, that's just teeming with tourists and cruisers, there's hardly anyone here. I guess it's just a few too many blocks inland for most people to venture, but I'd recommend it. Now, while Fort Fincastle was far more effective than the original Fort Nassau, it did get infiltrated sometimes, and there needed to be an escape route where the army could escape to the city below. And that's where this came in, what's now known as the Queen's Staircase. So let's check that out. 66 steps that took you from the fort down below. I don't know if this video gives it justice, but yeah, it's like pretty deep. It goes down extensively to sea level. This was built by slaves in 1793 and 1794. To give you some history, the Bahamas was a popular destination for loyalists from the U.S. who were loyal to the crown and therefore not very welcome in the U.S. after the American Revolution. Some of them moved to the Bahamas, which was a British colony since 1718. Some brought slaves, and those slaves built this. But why is it called the Queen's Staircase? Bahamas has a pretty cool history when it comes to the abolishment of slavery, because they did that much earlier than the U.S. But even before officially abolishing slavery, it was effectively a nice escape haven for escaped slaves from other places like the U.S. When the Bahamas officially ended slavery, or I should say the British Empire officially ended slavery in 1834, the Bahamians, appreciative of Queen Victoria's Act, named this 66 staircase the Queen's Staircase. And that's the reason for the name. Kind of tropical down here. Got a lot of palm trees surrounded by walls and a waterfall, which is very appreciative right now on a hot day like today. You get a really cooler feel down here at the bottom of the Queen's Staircase. So let's delve a little bit into that history of the Bahamas and slavery. In 1804, the international slave trade was abolished. So no longer could Western countries go into Africa and kidnap native Africans and bring them to countries and sell them as slaves. That was internationally illegal, even though it continued to exist in the countries like Brazil, like the US, where that still happened, or for that matter, even in some of the British Empire. But the Bahamas, even though there were some pre-existing slaves, became a very common destination for escaped slaves from the US. And there's a couple of cool stories. Probably the most important one is the one in 1841, where there was a slave boat transferring slaves from Virginia for sale in New Orleans. But there was a revolt, and the captive slaves forced the crew to land it in the Bahamas because they had heard that it was a safe haven. And indeed it was. The British Empire backed the escaped slaves, said, we don't recognize slavery here. These people are free. And this was one of many different boats that came through here in the first half of the 19th century, especially in the time when, between 1834 and 1865, when slavery was illegal in the British Empire but still legal in the US. Many American slaves escaped to the Bahamas, and it was a great destination where they could live normal, free lives. All right, we're back in Over the Hill, or Baintown. Nowhere near the tourist sites. We're at least 10, 15 blocks inland. We are in the neighborhood that they tell the tourists and the cruisers not to go to. That's exactly where we go. For those of you who are on Carnival or Norwegian or whatever cruise line and you dock here, if you want to avoid this, don't walk this way. But if you want to see it, just take East Street, keep going past Fort Fincastle, keep going 10, 15 blocks, and this is where we are. Let's go. Population of the Bahamas demographically is 90% black, 5% white, 5% mixed / other. In the old days, the popular sport here was cricket. But after independence and a little bit of less British influence and more US influence, some tastes in sports have changed. They follow a lot of the American sports. They're very successful at track and field. Have had many sprinter and middle distance medalists in the past couple of Olympics. One of the most famous would be Shawnee Miller. She dived across the line in the famous 2016 400 meter to beat Allison Felix by a fraction of a second. The New York Yankee third baseman Jazz Chisholm from here. Also, the famous actor, perhaps the best actor of the 1960s, Sidney Poitier, grew up right here in Nassau. From childhood through the age of 15. And another famous 1960s actor, Sean Connery, died here. Of course, he was born in Scotland, but his last few years were spent in Nassau. No more pedestrian crosswalks like you have in Bay Street. How's it going? I don't know the weed legality or illegality situation here. It's becoming legal in lots of U.S. states at this point, but I have smelled quite a bit of it here. It is the Caribbean after all. Hey there. People are super friendly here. Everyone seems very open to greeting, whether you're in the tourist area or not in the tourist area. Quite a few abandoned houses in this area. Nassau is known to be very expensive, but surely that real estate prices are more expensive immediately along the coast and not so much inland where we are right now. Yep, stray dogs, garbage everywhere, abandoned cars, abandoned houses. We are in the hood. Collectively, this neighborhood is known as Over the Hill. And that refers to the hill we passed a little bit south of Shirley Street that separates this area from the more tourist side on Bay Street. But within Over the Hill, there's several different smaller neighborhoods that comprise it. Baintown is one of them. I think that's where we are right now. local bar. How's it going? Bars on the storefront windows. And you know you're in the hood when you got Lucky Food Store number 2. Purple Brew, what is that? Established in 2019, something new. Back at Lucky Food Store number 2, they got wholesale top-up sold here. If anyone knows what that means, please leave a comment. How's it going? Two abandoned cars in front of an abandoned house. Hey, boss. Hey, which way? Is Fort Charlotte this way?
Yes. Go straight over there.
Okay.
Go straight over the hill. And go, you can't miss it. Just go back to town. And go right.
Okay.
Yes, you can see the tower.
Awesome. Cool.
Are you going to the tower?
Yeah.
You a YouTuber?
I am. Ruben Walker.
Ruben Walker.
Yeah.
Are you on TV?
You good on TV?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Weenie Wonder.
To tell this over the hill?
Over the hill, grandstand and being down the best place in the Bahamas. That's where you come and buy your $2 beer and every wonderful good things. You get your $3 plate of food. Yeah, $1 weed.
$1 weed. Yo,
weed.
Nice. $1.
$1 weed. Come over there and get your $2 beer and all your good things and everything.
Inflation hasn't hit here.
So what's your name?
Pete.
Pete?
Yo.
All right, so where you from?
From Florida, New York originally.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Pete.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, man, we are matching up the place here, mate.
Cool. What's your name again?
Weenie Wonder.
Weenie Wonder.
Weenie Wonder.
That's a tough name.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, man, Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, man.
All right.
Yo.
And you enjoy the place.
Thanks.
All right, enjoy the place.
I might come back for the $1 weed.
Yeah. All right, you got to. All right. Yes. All right.
All right.
I'm blessed with you.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
That can't possibly be $1 weed. This is the third Baptist church I've seen here, so that must be the predominant faith here in the Bahamas, based on my small sample size of walking around here today. This area looks a little rough, but man, I'm gonna say it is better in the Bahamas. It's easy to talk to people here. Everyone's so chill and laid back. Sometimes at home, you know, people get a little defensive, don't really like talking to strangers, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Even the dogs are chill here. It is the Caribbean, so probably not surprising they play baseball here. So, as you see ahead of us, I don't know if you can tell in this video, we are approaching a hill. So we're going back to the original touristy part of Nassau, leaving the over the hill section, which I quite enjoyed. Getting back to that history and how the Bahamas was such an important spot in terms of the response in the early 1800s to slavery. The British loyalists that moved here of European descent tended to settle along the coast, and this neighborhood right here was the neighborhood where freed or escaped slaves would tend to settle. Of that 5% European heritage people that live here, pretty much all of them can trace their lineage back to the British or English settlements here after the American Revolution. But in addition to freed and escaped slaves that settled here in the early to mid 1800s, there is Haitian immigration here because there's a better economy here in the Bahamas, given the tourism, than there is in Haiti. So there's a lot of job opportunities that are not available there. The economy is 50% tourism, but it is also big in banking. So about 50% of the economy is tourism, 15% is banking. It's also a big tax haven. I've seen it ranked as the 4th biggest tax haven in the world, though depending on the source it might be at a different level, but regardless, it's those with money can settle here and avoid a lot of the taxes that they might incur in westernized countries. This underpass here is effectively the separating point from the over-the-hill residential neighborhood we were down leaving back into downtown or central Nassau. Now we're at Nassau's biggest fort, Fort Charlotte. Fort Charlotte is closed today. I don't know if it's because of Super Bowl Sunday or what, but it's still 4:30 and there's nobody here but me. I'm walking in what would have been the moat of Fort Charlotte when it was an active fort. Unlike the original Fort of Nassau that stood where the British Colonial Hotel is now, that was wildly unsuccessful, constantly subject to attacks by not just pirates and Spaniards, but even the French. Didn't really do well. It's just too low, not very effective. So 90 years later, in 1887, the British constructed this fort, Fort Charlotte, at a much higher point with much better views of the Caribbean. And the difference in effectiveness was dramatic. Unlike the old fort in Nassau, which got infiltrated 30 times in the 200 years that it was active between 1697 and 1897, Fort Charlotte has never been attacked. Unlike the 1700s, which was a really rough time for the British holding on to their assets in the Caribbean, the 1800s were far more tranquil, due in large part to these forts. Pirates became less of a problem, the Spaniards lost influence, and there was a lot more guess, peaceful times for the British Empire here in the 1800s and 1900s, during the time that they held on to the Bahamas until the independence of 1973. All right, we're in Arawak Cay, which is a little bit west of downtown Nassau. This is a pretty cool happening spot where they got the fish fry restaurants. It's a little bit far away from where the boats, cruise ships dock, so it's mostly local people here, but nice places.
Where are they going, my boy?
Yeah.
So if you want to have a more authentic Bahamian experience away from the tourists, but still close to the water with that tropical feel, Arawak Cay, where we are now, is a good spot for you. You can walk it. It's a bit of a hike from downtown, maybe a mile, but it's doable. It's not just fish, they serve other types of food here.
We gonna rock it, really gonna rock it tonight. We gonna rock it tonight. We gonna rock it, really.
Been told it's jamming until about 10 p.m. when they close down.
Water place, tasty one.
So yeah, if you're not quite ready for over the hill, but you want to get a little more authentic, then Bay Street or Paradise Island, Arawak Cay might be a nice place to go. So, what do you think? Is it better in the Bahamas? Kind of think so. Sure, it's got some rundown areas. Might be a little bit expensive near the water, but the vibe here is legit. Super easy to talk to the people who live here. None of that defensiveness you might get in other countries. Just chill, cool vibe here. So yeah, I think it's true. It's better here. I need your help. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers. Not quite there yet. Been stuck at 800 and something for a while now. So if you haven't subscribed already, do it. Just do it. Click subscribe. Costs you nothing. Gets me over that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is very important for me personally. So This is the Urban Walker checking out from Nassau, Bahamas. Till the next time, see ya.